Ghost of Yōtei looks to be an amazing time, and today we're going to be diving into what I believe is one of the best features that showcases Sucker Punch really wants us to fully immerse ourselves, have quality of life features, and enjoy ourselves thoroughly. So we're going to dive into that. But before we do, make sure you leave a like if this is informative. And just know we have combat guides, exploration, and so much more on the channel for Ghost of Yōtei. And we're going to continue to bring you this with some giveaways and much more for the game. So leave a comment and join the fun. That being said, today is pretty much one of the most exciting things that I got to see from their reveal of the gameplay. And we broke a bunch of things down. We got a big overview, but today we're focusing on one specific feature that kind of brings everything together in the game, and that's going to change the way you experience it, which is pretty much the wolf pack. The wolf pack is your team, the allies you build. You're able to bring with you at any point in the game. You can basically have whoever join you and at anywhere in the game for the most part. And this is a feature that I think is phenomenal, and I wanted to basically explore it a bit more. I'm going to go ahead and showcase what that's going to look like. First things first, just think about when you're out in the world and you build a companion. This is something we talked about before, but having companions is in the game. So far, they confirmed only one, which is the wolf that you see here. I'm assuming there'll be other animals possibly, or maybe players that you can call in to help you out at times for things. And it is a mechanic in the game. It's not just when they play with you. You can see here in the quick scenario. Then the main feature and the reason this video exists is the set up your camp. This right here allows you to basically access everything and everyone in the game that you built bonds with and that you can do missions for. And not only that, you can also recruit the vendors and so much more so that they can come to you. So just imagine you're out in the world somewhere and you needed a break. You can make a quick settlement camp or find one. I'm not sure how that mechanic exactly is going to work. And then you can call in any of your allies from the wolf pack, which you're watching here. There's a ton of them, and each of them have different perks and systems within them. And it looks like, just like in the previous game where you had characters you play side stories with and learn all of the lore, this game is doing the same thing, but they have this very amazing feature where, let's just say I'm deep in the north side of the base. I don't want to fast travel or even just travel to one of the vendors. I want them to come to me, and all I have to do is go into this camp, set up, and then call in whoever that I feel I need at the moment. And this is just an amazing feature, and that's going to add value to you. But I wanted to just take a break and showcase this and get into some details that I've noticed about it. So yes, you're going to have to set up a camp. Maybe there's already pre-made ones throughout the world, and then maybe you'll be able to set up your own. We'll find out more details about that. But there's a couple things you can do, which, as you can see here, play some music just to vibe out. It's something that I've been getting into more in video games, just enjoying games that have a chill vibe to it in some way. Something I didn't do before, but I'm doing more now, which I love. Then, of course, eat some food. And then this is the big menu with tons of confirmed characters already. And there's a little guy in the right. I'm not sure who he is, but there's some young kids in here, so that's pretty cool. Then you have a gentleman, Jinny. He basically has upgrades for you, and he's an armorer. So you're going to be able to basically buff up yourself, which we'll talk about a little later. And I did talk about it in my combat guide. But basically, just like previous years, you have gear and you have charms and skills and things like that, which we'll get into a little more later. But you also have the upgrades that are very important. So another gentleman here who's going to give you great things. And then there's just tasks. And this is kind of your sensei. And you're going to be able to develop who you are, what you do as you go, and grow stronger, but also push the story along. Okay. Another Master Yoshi, he's also giving you tasks. And then on the opposite side, you get upgrades from this older lady. Shout out to her. And then there's more gear from this bow lady. Then the master has techniques for you, which is super important. We'll get into the techniques and things like that in a second, but I wanted to showcase the actual setup. You can see the map somewhat, of course, not fully detailed, but it looks like there's a river right around here, some big trees, and then open areas here. And then you're going to be going up to where he is, which is a cool feature. Then it also just explains, and I don't want to read this out loud, but it explains parts of the story. You have an objective that you need to do, and there is a dojo that you're going to be going to train. Okay, that's all that I want to share about this. But the point is, this is a huge upgrade where you're capable of expanding your story and having it come to you for the most part. But then, of course, they're going to send you on your missions that you can just kind of have in the open world. And then another character who also has her own setup, you get some gear for her, and you have to go on a mission with and for her. So those are cool. Of course, you're going to have your natural places for the actual blacksmith. Then they talk about the charms, which there isn't many showcased yet, but you can see right here. Locking onto enemies, fires a bow and arrow, inflicting massive damage. Right? This is the charm of true aim. And so this is one of many different charms, and there's plenty of them. Then on top of it, they showcase some of the weapon systems here, all the visuals and different colors and customization that you're going to be able to do to each weapon, which, you know, that's always fun. And this is what I was talking about for those that are new. This is a charm system. All of those are basically, think about them as perks, abilities, buffs that you can put onto your character that are called charms. Then on top of that, you also have the gear. Okay, the outfit is your gear where you're capable of buffing yourself also with the armor, headpiece, mask, and we'll see how that changes this time around because we haven't got confirmation. But they do showcase the actual weapons that you're using, and we have 5 at the moment on this side, and then you have 4 ranged weapons and then the quick throwing items. Okay, so it's a lot of good stuff in here. As you can see, you have your handgun, your rifle, smoke bombs, and regular bombs, put your blade on fire. These are all traditional things, kunai, and so much more. So it's gonna be a blast, and we're not gonna get into the combat. I do have a video for that if you wanted to check it out. But this is key to having this feature because you're gonna be able to buff yourself up like crazy as you go along and enjoy the journey. So, you know, a really fun feature that they're allowing us to basically utilize for our characters and for our experience. I personally feel like it is necessary for us to have this, being able to be on the go. A lot of open world games don't give you that freedom. Sometimes you have to travel all the way back to the HUD, talk to the vendor, and go through that process. I think this is a high quality of life feature that keeps you immersed in the world instead of just making it a menu thing, and you're able to call in for your allies and resources and do different things for that. So the combination of building your own team and then also being able to call them in at any time is, to me, the best new feature outside of all the fun combat and exploration elements that they've added to this game, and I'm loving it. So super exciting, and those are some of the details that I've noticed. There's plenty of more, so feel free to drop some in the comments, and maybe if you haven't watched my combat guide or my exploration guide, I do have it on the channel, just breaking down everything that we know and that we've seen, and you can share more thoughts about what you see or learn and help the community, because I'm gonna keep on making content for this game. Hope you guys enjoy. Go watch that next one. Make sure you leave a like if this was informative. We out. Peace.